All right, we are live. Can everybody hear me well? How do I sound? Max, Eman, Josiah, Eduardo, Ethan, Ryguy. All right. So I'm gonna hold quiet for a few minutes here until we hit 6, and then we're gonna get going. Probably going to be a short stream. Channing, I posted a video this morning that addresses that. Go watch that video. I actually talk about that exact thing. Yeah, Rabbit. Well, it's a big that's a difficult question to answer, Ian. Okay, we're gonna get started in about 1 minute here. Ethan, these are HyperX Cloud Alpha S. I got them off Best Buy. Scarecrow, welcome. Andrew, welcome. All right. 30 seconds or so and we're going to get underway. All right, guys. It is 6 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get underway. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out. So before we get started on the actual content of this stream, I want to say if you're here, please like the stream if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. You guys know the drill. Also, I want to say we hit our subscriber goal for March already. We got to 2,800 this morning. We've actually blown past 2,800 now. So we are now well past our subscriber goal for the month, which I thought I might have been a little optimistic on, but we've been blowing up lately. We are 2 off the member goal. So if you've thought about becoming a member in the past, now's a good time. All right. So basically, the last 24 hours have seen 3 things of interest that are worth going into a little bit. So we're going to start at the top. Going to start with this one. And I know this one seems like it might be the least interesting one, the least impactful one. But it's concrete, right? We know he's here. So it's probably the most important thing to consider right now. So as of this morning, the Seattle Seahawks re-signed Jordan Simmons to a 1-year deal worth a currently unknown amount of money. All we know is that there are incentives based off of playing time in the contract. So we know that Jordan Simmons is going to be here, and we can also fairly deduce that his salary for 2021. I am so sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, my bad. Had somebody at the door had to deal with it. But anyway, we can expect that Jordan Simmons, whatever he makes this year, will be less than 2.13 million. So, this doesn't seem that interesting or compelling, and it's probably not, but Jordan Simmons played last year, and there's one thing about him that I think needs to be pointed out if we're trying to be, expansive on this. Jordan Simmons last year actually had one of the highest run block win rates of any guard in the NFL. He was actually 7th in the entire league. Only 6 offensive guards last year had a higher run block win rate than Jordan Simmons did. So maybe we shouldn't be completely discounting him. So, yeah, if anybody has any particular thoughts about this signing, go ahead and voice them in the chat. I know this is not exactly the most compelling thing going on with this team right now, but it is something that has happened, and it's very likely that Simmons will be on the roster. Christopher Dorezo, I don't know yet. Nobody knows yet. All I can say is that whatever it is probably less than 2.13 million, because that's what we would have paid him if we tendered him. So, if we had to pay him more than that, why wouldn't we have just tendered him? So, I would suggest that it's probably around 1.5 million, but we'll find out soon. It might be league minimum. It might be veteran minimum. All right, so here's the interesting question. So our guards right now on this team, the guards on this team are Lewis, Gabe Jackson, and then Simmons and Haynes backing them up. So are we done at guard? Because as you guys may recall, I did have Austin Blythe on my targets list, and I still have him there. And I know Blythe is, for our purposes, listed as a center, but Austin Blythe is also a very quality backup guard. So that's kind of interesting, because it seems to me that signing Simmons makes it much less likely we get Blythe, which is disappointing to me. However, Blythe could still be signed as a a starting center even. Yeah, Jamarco Jones also plays guard a lot. So we kind of have 5 guards on the team as is, if you count if you count Jamarco Jones. Were there any new contract details of the 2 signings from yesterday? I made a video last night about exactly what we know about their contracts. I don't know anything new from what I reported last night, Ethan. So, Jordan Simmons, 1-year deal. It's cool. Again, I would have preferred to get somebody a little better, but he's familiar with the system, and that there's something to be said for that. And maybe he's not as bad as I thought he was. Maybe he's at least a good run blocker, and maybe there's some value in that. Okay, so second topic of the day. Bruce Irvin seemingly announces retirement on Twitter, and I think a lot of people were kind of expecting this one, but this morning, and I mean literally this morning, at midnight, he tweeted, "I think it's time," and most people have concluded that he's going to retire, which is why he did this. So Bruce Irvin basically already said, I either want to be a Seahawk this year or I want to retire, and it looks like the team wasn't that interested in him. So if you were looking to have Bruce Irvin as depth on the defensive edge and depth as a Sam linebacker, look elsewhere. It's not going to happen this year. So here's the more interesting question to me, because Bruce Irvin, he played okay when he was healthy last year, but he only played a game and a half, so I don't know what to say about that other than I was kind of interested in bringing him back because of his versatility. But here's the interesting question that I have right now. Right now, this team has 3 Leo defensive ends. They have 3 guys that you would expect to play Leo defensive end. Benson Mayowa, Alton Robinson, and Daryl Taylor. So if you bring in Dunlap, that is 4 Leo ends. And that's even if you move Collier, like I keep talking about. So you could argue that we have too many Leos if we bring in Dunlap, or any other guy who can play Leo. So here's the interesting question. What if Daryl Taylor becomes the new Bruce Irvin? What if this year Daryl Taylor took Bruce Irvin's role of being part-time Leo, part-time Sam linebacker? Does he have that in his skill set? Would that be a good idea? Do we want to put that much on our rookie? Or, well, he's not really a rookie, but he's kind of a rookie. So with this Bruce Irvin retirement, I feel like there's an opportunity here to maybe tell Taylor, hey, you're going to play some Leo, but you're also going to play some linebacker. And with that additional playing time that's created, that hole at the Leo spot, I think you could justifiably go get Dunlap. So that's the next thing that I kind of want to converse about for a few minutes here. If you have any thoughts about Bruce Irvin retiring as well, go ahead and voice them. I don't think there's really too much to say about it other than that it's a thing that happened. I like the idea, but I have zero knowledge if he's capable of handling that role. Yeah, a lot of people think that physically and athletically he can probably do it. Is it wise to trade one of them with Reed for picks? I don't think so. I don't think so. The thing is, those 3 guys are all young and have potential. Alton Robinson was really good as a rookie. Why do we want to retire him? Why do we want to, put him on ice, basically? Daryl Taylor, we obviously like enough to draft in the second round. What are we going to do? Put him on ice? And we just signed Benson Mayowa. You can't put any of these guys on ice. So even, if we do what I wanted us to do in terms of trading Reed, getting Collier to D-tackle, and then signing Dunlap, we would have an appropriate number of quality defensive ends. My question is, would we be able to get them on the field often enough? Possibly trade a guy like Mayowa. Well, Mayowa doesn't have trade value is the thing. I don't think. You would probably just be stuck cutting him and eating the dead money, which is not great. Percent chance of getting Dunlap back? Right now, I'd say like 15%. When I start hearing concrete rumors that we're trading Reed, then I will start raising that. But right now, it strikes me as low. The only way you can create a roster spot for Dunlap that makes sense is if you move Collier to the inside. So, yeah. That's really all that I wanted to say here. It's very interesting, the juggling act the Seahawks are trying to pull off on the defensive edge with all these different defensive ends that they have and the different skill sets they have. Anyone else here that Taylor may not even play given his injury? If that's true, that's enraging because he was hurt before we drafted him. I think Dunlap on a 1 year, then putting the other guys out there would be good. There wouldn't be enough snaps. We need to learn if these guys are good. We're not going to learn anything about them if they don't get to play. Like, Rasheem Green is in the last year of his contract. What are we going to do? Just never really give him a chance to shine and just let him go and hope he doesn't break out on another team? That seems like a bad way of doing business. That's almost what we did to Ethan Posick. And I know some people hate Ethan Posick and wish we had done that, but not me. I think Blythe became a lot less likely Costa Rican because we signed Simmons personally. Okay, that's good, Brent. That would be very, very tragic because I like Taylor. I think the team likes Taylor. And I think Like I said, we may very well see him move to Leo for some snaps in 2021, and he becomes the new, or not move to Leo, but move to Sam, and he becomes the new Bruce Irvin. So, doing creative little things like that is going to allow us to get better and acquire more players. Because, again, I don't want to shelve Alton Robinson. I don't want to shelve Darrell Taylor. I don't want to shelve Rasheem Green. I don't want to shelve any of these guys. The only guys on this team, the only end on this team that I would be okay shelving would be Benson Mayowa because we know what he is, and we just signed Benson Mayowa. What are we going to do? Give him money and then say, now we don't want you to actually play? Yes, Michael, I think he was. Ogbuehi re-signed? Oh, okay, looks like we're breaking a little bit of news here on the stream, guys. Cedric Ogbuehi looks like he has re-signed with the Seattle Seahawks. Let me see if I can find that. Not seeing it on Brady Henderson. Have you done a new salary cap update after the recent signings? If you haven't, can you do an estimate if we were to restructure what we can trade Reed? Okay, I may do that tomorrow. Well, can somebody confirm the Cedric Ogbuehi news? Because I don't see it on Brady Henderson's page. You know, Big Daddy K, when I watched Ogbuehi last year, I thought he was trash, but maybe I was just looking at all the right times because the people who do this stuff for a living say that Ogbuehi was not that bad. So I don't know. I don't want to trust the stat nerds all the time, but I have to say I'm open to the possibility of him not being as bad as I'm thinking. Okay, I am seeing it confirmed all over Twitter now. The Seahawks have brought back Cedric Ogbuehi, and that's about all we know. We don't know for how many years. We don't know the money. I can assume it's a one-year deal for not very much, but I am not seeing... Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of money or details yet. So hopefully that will be forthcoming. But, hey, Cedric Ogbuehi. Okay, let's get to the main event, guys. Let's get to the main event. Because I know everybody wants to talk about this one. There is reportedly a mutual interest between the Seattle Seahawks and Richard Sherman. So there was a report yesterday that said that Sherman was open to the idea of a return to the Seattle Seahawks. And I heard about it, I read it, and I didn't really care about it because having interest is not the same as actually, returning. So I didn't pay it much mind, but I thought I'd go ahead and talk about it on stream a little bit because there are rumors that the Seahawks might reciprocate that interest. So here's an article, and I know it's from Bleacher Report, and Bleacher Report is whatever, but I've read a lot of other articles that have a similar sentiment. So let's take a look here. Per Tom Pelissero, Sherman is open to returning to Seattle as a free agent. Pelissero added that he believes the Seahawks would be open to bringing Sherman back, but he said it could be difficult to make something work because of their other free agent signings in the current cap situation. Now, we all know that cap doesn't matter worth a damn anymore. Look at all these signings that we're doing. So, how do people feel about the possibility of bringing back Richard Sherman? Because I'll tell you, I'm not that into it. I'm not really that into it. Yeah, I don't think he could play for less than I think he will, but I don't think he's going to play for pennies. So I don't think you're going to be able to get him for less than like 6 million a year, and I'm not willing to do that. And I think he's still a good player, but I don't know if he's a really good player anymore, and we can't be sure because he barely played last year. I don't know what the right price is for Sherman. What would I be willing to give him? Because honestly, I kind of feel like if he wants more than 3 million, he can get out of here. But I know he's never going to play for that much. He's a future Hall of Famer. He can get overpaid by some dumb team if he really wants to. So the Sherman thing to me is kind of Yeah, I'm not really into it. I think that you could probably go get one of the rookies in this draft that I really like and get not the same production that you would out of Sherman, but I would probably I would probably get something pretty good out of there that makes me not really miss Sherman. 2 years, 3 million. Yeah, Ethan, he's not going to take that deal unless he doesn't care about money at all anymore. What would you say our top 3 to 4 needs are before the season starts? Center, cornerback, wide receiver, left tackle. I really like this draft for cornerbacks personally. There were a lot of guys who jumped out to me as fitting Seattle's defense. So, just let me know what you guys think about the possibility of bringing back Sherman. I know there are a lot of emotions in it. I think there are a lot of Seahawks fans out there. Chef Jack Attack, thank you for the 199. Do you know Norbcam? Yeah, I've met Norbcam a couple times, Jack Attack. So I do know him. I know of him. I don't watch his videos because they're not my thing, but I know him. He's a good guy. Yeah, I think there are a lot of Seahawks fans who, as of right now, would say, I don't want Sherman. And I'm kind of there with them. But I think a lot of Seahawks fans, if we signed him, would get caught up in it a little bit. Yes, we are Jeff Heath. Because he's one of the greatest players in Seahawks franchise history. He's he's all these things that we adore about the team that won the Super Bowl. He represented that team, even if he wasn't the best player on the team. He was kind of our representative. So I feel like a lot of people would get like hyped up if we got Sherman, even if you don't want him right now. I think that would wear off. I think you would very quickly be like, oh, well, okay, we just paid a bunch of money for a guy who, he's going to get hurt. He's not that great anymore. But it would be an emotional moment to bring back Sherman and try to make peace with all that crap that happened with him. So, yeah. It seems like most people in the chat are not down with Sherman. They don't want Sherman back. Or if they do, they would only do it if he's only getting paid like 3 million a year, which he will never agree to, I don't think. Darius, the comp pick is next year, not this year. In other news, we now have about 100 people in the stream, so I want to shout out everybody who showed up tonight to participate. This is going to be a shorter stream, but I wanted to throw something together because a few things happened today. So please like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want daily Seahawks content. Click the join button down below to become a member. And donations via Super Chat or PayPal are always appreciated. So, Um, okay, we do have a few people who want Sherman, and that's cool, but most people in this chat seem like they don't. Second, fourth, and seventh. Christopher, I think Tate might do that. Yeah, I think Tate might do that, but I don't know if it's going to happen. We know there's some negativity there. I'm okay with trusting Swain. I'm okay with getting another receiver. It's fine. Okay, so we've only got a few minutes left because I was only going to stream for half an hour tonight. So real quick. Cedric Ogbuehi. Let's talk about him for a second. So right now, our backup tackles are Cedric Ogbuehi and Tommy Champion. Does anybody think going into 2021 with those guys as our backup tackles is good enough? Or are you prioritizing getting another good tackle in here? Yeah, we do have Jamarco, and Jamarco's interesting. Jamarco is very interesting because he was drafted as a tackle, but he can play guard. Because whenever Jamarco has played tackle, to my eye, he has not played very well. All right, see you later, Michael. Well, again, I'm just talking about the short term. I'm talking about 2021. Yeah, exactly, John. That's kind of how I feel. Jamarco Robinson looks like he's better than better at guard than he is at tackle. Excuse me. I keep losing my train of thought. I like Simmons better than Jamarco. Simmons may be better than Jamarco, yeah, but we're talking about just depth here. Can we get 2 firsts for Wagner? No, I don't think we could get more than a 4th round pick for Wagner. I think that we would probably get like a 4th or maybe 3rd round pick for Wagner at best. Draft Jackson Carmen. I kind of think he's going to be gone by the time we pick. He's supposed to be the real McCoy. Yeah, Dwayne Brown's probably going to retire after this season. Someone would overpay for Wagner. Yeah, but they wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks. No team is that stupid. Bill O'Brien does not have a job anymore. I mean, I don't know how many videos I have to make about how Bobby Wagner is regressing before I convince my viewers that he is regressing. I'm sorry, but he just is. It's not personal. It just is what it is. Do you think they are going to trade Jerron Reed? I don't know, but I want them to. Oh, yeah, Sherman was great in 2019, Brent. Believe me, I know that. Believe me, I know that Sherman was great in 2019, but stuff goes downhill fast with some of these players. So just because he was great in 2019 doesn't mean he's going to be great in 2021. Stuff happens fast in this league. All right, we're going to go for a couple more minutes here, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out. And I will probably be on stream for EU4 later tonight. But yeah, I just wanted to make a short stream to discuss some of the stuff that happened today. And while I was streaming, something else happened today. So basically, to recap, the last 24 hours, Jordan Simmons re-signed for a one-year deal that we don't know the value of. Cedric Ogbuehi did the same, it sounds like. Bruce Irvin has probably retired. And there is apparently some interest between the Seahawks and Richard Sherman. And it now seems at least conceivable that he is going to be back to Seattle in 2021. I still don't think it's likely, and I can't say I would really care for it, but it's worth talking about. Yeah, Wagner is still a good linebacker. Any sign of KJ Wright being re-signed? Kind of. I don't think it's going to happen, but the fact that he hasn't signed with anybody else is kind of a sign that something could be shaking free there. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out for the stream. Nice, quick little stream. I know this was over quickly, but I got some things I got to do, and then I'm going to jump on stream, EU4 probably. So I will see. Oh, okay, let me see here. So basically, we're bringing back the exact same O-line with the exception of Gabe Jackson. This worries me. Well, I don't know. I think the offensive line last year was pretty good. I really do. I have never really understood this idea of our offensive line just being irredeemably awful last year and da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. So, Rabbit, that's something I need to spend a lot of time discussing. I cannot do that in one stream off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm not worried about the offensive line. All these guys should be good. And by the way, remember, we have a better offensive system now, which should help those guys play better. All right, guys. I'm going to go and get out of here. That was a fun little 30-minute stream. But I'm going to go ahead and cut it short there because it's been a pretty uneventful few. It's been a relatively uneventful 24 hours in terms of things that have big impact. So, I will see you guys later tonight. Peace out. Go Hawks. Look for a video from me in the near future because of the Cedric O stuff. I'll go ahead and cut one. And yeah, I will see you guys shortly. Peace.